Hey everyone, it's Ryan Anderson with Your Real Estate Matters here in Denver, Colorado, serving the Front Range with all of your home real estate needs. And I just got off the phone with a gentleman I wanted to share with you talking about radon and mold. Radon and mold, two things that are pretty common in Colorado. Mold not as much as radon for sure. I just wanted to give you guys a quick insight on what happens when this comes up. We had a seller who had a basement that was pretty much sealed off. They never went down to their basement, crawl space I mean. The crawl space was sealed off. They never went down there. Their house was on the market. We found a buyer for their house, full price offer. They do their inspection and they find the crawl space is full of water. And we don't know how long it's been there. And they don't have a radon system. They don't have a mold. They'd never known about water in the basement, so they had no idea about this. And the airflow down there was pretty non-existent. They opened it up, and we found out the sump pump wasn't working. Well, what do you do then? Well, first of all, we got to get a sump pump working. We got to pump out all that water. We don't know where the leak's coming from. And once that water all got out, they got to get a guy down there to kind of look at it and then test for mold, test for radon as well. Radon comes from underneath the ground and comes out of the dirt. It's an odorless gas that comes out from the earth. And then of course, you know, mold comes from water, standing water. So what we did is we did a mold test and found that there was some mold on the joists underneath the crawl space, and the radon level was fairly high. And so the answer to that is to put a vapor barrier on over the dirt and then get a suction system that pulls air from under the dirt. This is called a radon mitigation system, and it pulls air and sucks it up and out and over the roof line. So those two things had to happen in order to make the house pretty much sellable and habitable. And these things to look out for are very common because in Colorado, radon levels are very high with the high elevation. And we get radon because in the dirt there's a lot of this soil that contains, I would say, radioactive. That's technically what the EPA calls it. Higher levels in some areas that have a tendency to cause lung cancer if you're breathing in a lot of that radon gas. And so they just want you to ventilate it out. And there's certain levels that it's not acceptable past the EPA. So that was a critical thing for us to take care of right away. The second was mold. Now, mold testing can have a lot of downfalls if you let it go. It can become harmful to breathe in. Some mold is very harmful to breathe in, some isn't. And so they test for that harmful mold, and it's really important to not be duped by mold companies that just say, it's all bad, you got to do this. We got 4 bids to remediate the same problem, 4 different companies, and the bids ranged from $1,500 to $10,000. You can tell that there's somebody trying to take advantage of somebody there, and it's the same exact work. So the key thing with mold is 1, to be aware of it, 2, to mitigate it, and 3, to choose the right company to mitigate it. But to be aware that it could be down there, to check your crawl space, make sure you've got good airflow down there in the crawl space, and be looking out for these possible harmful to health things that could be going on underneath your house. So this is a little story that just happened. I wanted to get it to you hot off the press and make you aware of it. So if you haven't checked your crawl space, go check it. If you're wondering where that leak came from, it was from the sprinkler line that had broken and the water was just funneling in there and they had no idea, especially if you don't blow out your sprinklers. Make sure you do that so you're not at risk of having a leak that's unknown. And then third, make sure you pay attention to the airflow down in your crawl space so that it's constantly moving. And it'd be a good idea to probably get a vapor barrier if you've got a crawl space. Anyway, if you have any questions, give me a call. As always, I look forward to talking to you. Make it a great day. Bye for now.